The Annual Plan Coordination Committee has approved a national development plan worth over Rs 3 trillion for 2024 to 2025, aiming to boost economic growth to 3.6% from 2.38% in the current fiscal year. The Federal Public Sector Development Program will see an allocation of Rs 1.221 trillion, up by nearly 30% from last year's 950 billion rupees, which has been reduced to 717 billion rupees due to fiscal constraints. Additional investment from power companies will bring a total federal development spending to Rs 1.406 trillion. Punjab and Sindh will contribute with annual development plans of Rs 700 billion and Rs 763 billion respectively. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has announced Rs 627 billion development plan, while Balochistan's plan remains unspecified. National development spending is expected to exceed Rs 3.5 trillion. A notable policy shift sees the federal government's social sector allocation reduced by 59% to Rs 83 billion, transferring more responsibility to provinces. Infrastructure investment will increase by 60% to Rs 877 billion, and science and technology funding will rise by 148% to Rs 104 billion. The energy sector will receive the largest federal allocation at Rs 378 billion, up by 212% from the previous year's Rs 121 billion. The water sector will get Rs 284 billion, a 92% increase from last year's Rs 148 billion. However, transport and communication funding will drop by 29% to Rs 173 billion from Rs 245 billion. The social sector will face significant cuts, with health funding reduced by 35% to Rs 17 billion and education spending to be slashed by 62% to Rs 32 billion. Allocations for the Sustainable Development Goals have been abolished, while governance funding will increase by 38% to 29 billion rupees, and agriculture will see a rise to Rs 14 billion from Rs 9 billion. Growth targets include 2% for agriculture, 4.4% for the industrial sector, and 4.1% for services. Improved economic conditions, political stability, and favorable global commodity prices are expected to support these targets. Fixed investment is projected to grow by 27.6%, and national savings are targeted at 13.3% of the GDP. The fiscal deficit is expected to narrow with enhanced tax revenue and reduced non-development expenditures. Inflation is projected to moderate to 12% next year, and the current account deficit is expected to widen due to eased import restrictions. However, positive trends in remittances, exports, and external inflows are anticipated to mitigate pressures on foreign reserves and exchange rate.